Our next championship case is about the 2012 Cup Series champion, Brad Keselowski. Keselowski has clinched his playoff spot with RFK for the first time. Last year was his first year at RFK. Couldn't quite make the playoffs, but this year, what a turnaround it's been. He had pointed his way into the playoffs, so no wins on the season. But he's currently sitting top 10 in the regular season standings, has competed for a couple of wins. Obviously, his fell short. And he's watched his teammate from Prosper, Texas, win a couple of races. So that winning speed is there. The winning is there. But can he pick up that second championship, this time in the 6 car instead of the 2 car? I honestly, these are not predictions. I do this for all 16 drivers. We go through the playoff field, yada, yada, yada. But they're for real. If you're like a Kyle Larson fan, if you're a Joey Logano fan, whoever you may be a fan of, we've already done 11 of these. Go to the playlist section on my channel. You'll find it there. But on a serious note for Brad Keselowski, I think he's a long shot to win the title that would actually be a little bit realistic. Keselowski, you look at the schedule, we'll go through it here, and it's got some favorable tracks for him, I would say. But let's talk about his season so far. As I said, he sits 8th in the regular season standings as of today. He has 5 top 5s on the season, 10 top 10s on the season, and 3 stage wins. So if he can hold on to a top 10 spot in the regular season standings, he gets a few playoff points. I think he can get as high as 6th, but he can also fall out of the top 10. So stage points will be important here at Daytona, and then also not wrecking out. So it's actually a big race for Keselowski this weekend. I think he's going to be a legitimate contender for this win. But on to the playoffs. That first round, honestly, I have no concerns for Keselowski. He finished top 5 at Darlington in the spring. He almost won the Bristol night race last year, and his teammate won it. And then as for Kansas, that one maybe not as good for him. But those other 2 tracks, I could see Brad Keselowski in the top 5 in both those races, and I think that's enough to get him through the first round. So that first round, really, I'm not that concerned for Brad. Kind of surprised I'm saying that. Because last year, they struggled to make the playoffs, and that Bristol night race, once again, was a really good race for him. But other than that, it was an up and down year for Brad. But this year, right there, I expect them to get out of that first round. I think it would be a disappointment, honestly, if they didn't get out of that first round. As for the second round, we've got a bit of a wild card of a round. Now, Brad is a super speedway expert. He has, 6 wins at Talladega. So, Talladega, he is marking on his calendar. He's been great at the super speedways with RFK. And in fact, his last win in his career was at Talladega in 2021 with Penske. That other race is Texas. Maybe the only mile and a half he hasn't won at. Texas, he just can't get it done. There's something about it. But Ford has run well at Texas the past couple of years, and especially last year with the next gen. We saw Team Penske dominate the All-Star race. We've seen Ryan Blaney run extremely well at Texas. So if Brad Keselowski can capitalize on that, if they can use the momentum and the extra benefit of being Chris Buescher's home track, I don't know what that has to do with Brad. I just wanted to bring up that Chris Buescher is from Prosper, Texas for like the 20,000th time on this channel. But seriously, though, Brad, I think that could be a struggle of a race. But Talladega, I think he's going to be competing for the win. And the Roval, Brad's never won on a road course, but his road racing has gotten a little bit better. But I don't expect him to do great there. So the second round is really tricky spot, but if he gets out of it, I'll explain why I think he's a good long shot. The second round, if he can run top 15 at Texas, top 5 with a lot of stage points in Talladega, and survive the Roval, like a top 15, maybe a couple stage points, that could be enough to scoot on by to that round of 8. He's going to be in a bad points position at the beginning. It's going to be really close to the cutoff line, but really good run at Talladega. Surviving at Texas in the Roval, you may get through to that round of 8. Round of 8, Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville. This is where it's a little bit tricky, but I will say there's one race in here that I legitimately think Brad Keselowski could win to get to the championship for, and that is Martinsville. Keselowski's got 2 wins at Martinsville in his career last year. He was in contention for the race win, and he didn't win. He is still yet to win with RFK, but he was in contention for the win. He was up there fighting Christopher Bell, fighting Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe, and someone else up there fighting for the win, and he about got it done, but just couldn't get it done. Obviously, he finished 3rd or 4th. He had Roush Chastain on his back bumper from the Hail Melon, but Brad Keselowski at the short tracks with RFK has been something different. Martinsville, as I said, Bristol, as I said, have been really good runs for him that he very well could have won. We've seen championship runs happen in the last 10 races where someone they catch fire really quick and it doesn't die down. The fire spreads throughout the team and they end up going on a hot streak. Look at Tony Stewart in 2011. I think he entered the playoff with 1 win and ended up with 8 on the year or something insane like that. Brad Keselowski's entering this playoffs with 0 or 1 wins. Those are the only 2 possibilities. Bristol, legitimate shot at a win. Darlington, I think a decent shot at the win. He's won the Southern 500 before. Martinsville, Talladega, those are the legitimate opportunities for Brad Keselowski to win. If he can go on a Tony Stewart run here, we get to Phoenix, Brad Keselowski could get it done. But on a serious note, he's not going to be in a good points position in this round of 8 unless he goes on a hot streak, like I said. So unless he does win Darlington, Bristol, and Talladega, that's at least 15 playoff points. Let's throw 2 stage wins in there, so 17. He would still be behind Truex because we're assuming Truex is winning a race. Byron, we're assuming he's winning a race. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson. So if he doesn't do that, which realistically he won't do that, he's going to be below the cutoff line. That's at least, as I said, Busch, Truex, Byron, Larson, Hamlin. That's 5 guys ahead of you already. And if someone else picks up a couple wins in the playoffs like Ryan Blaney, then you're going to be in a bad position points-wise, and these guys are going to outrun you at these first 2 tracks at Vegas and Homestead, meaning I think Brad has to win Martinsville. It's his best shot. It's his most competitive track in this group of tracks. He may be statistically better at Vegas, I think he has 3 wins there, but realistically, Martinsville's his best opportunity. He has been killing it on the short tracks with RFK. Ford has been better on the short tracks. He's been in position to win at these short tracks. That's going to be where he has to get it done. So if he can win Martinsville, he advances to the Final Four. Phoenix, another kind of short track. And Ford has been great there as well. 2 of the 3 wins in at Phoenix in the history of the next-gen car have been won by Ford, Chase Briscoe, and Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski, can he get his first championship with RFK as a team owner, looking for his 2nd ever title? So Brad Keselowski, I think it's going to take some wins, but it's possible. I can't believe I'm saying this. It is possible for Brad Keselowski. I don't think realistically. I'll give my playoff predictions next week. I'm not giving them away. But Brad Keselowski, in conclusion, how he can win the championship. First round, he should be good, but he should be competing for wins in at least one of those races. Bristol. Second round, I think he could compete for that win at Talladega. If he can survive that, he's got to run decent at Texas and the Roval. He can't afford a mistake at one of those tracks. Then we go to that final round. He's not going to be in a good points position, but Martinsville's a great track for him. It's going to take a win. And then as for that championship, the top 3 could wreck on lap 1. Brad just has to make it to lap 2. But RFK looking for their first championship with Keselowski on board as an owner, looking for their first championship since, oh boy, Kurt Busch, 2004, maybe? Someone correct me if I'm wrong there, but anyways, that's my championship case right there. Tomorrow is Michael McDowell. Yeah, that's going to happen, a Michael McDowell championship case. 2nd time in 3 years we're making a Michael McDowell championship case, but after that, the schedule will be Saturday. We got the Daytona recap. Sunday, a Dutch Grand Prix recap. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, will be the final championship cases. Thursday or Friday, I haven't determined yet, will be the full playoff preview. Right now, I'm leaning towards Friday. It's something else planned for Thursday. You guys will soon see if that actually happens. It's a bunch of ifs right now. But for sure, tomorrow McDowell, Saturday Daytona, Sunday Dutch Grand Prix, Monday through Wednesday championship cases, the remaining ones, Thursday, Friday, up in the air. I'll update you in the community post as I have been, so make sure to check those out. I'm continuing to do those quizzes just to, add useless NASCAR knowledge to your brain that I have, because I have nothing better to do. But thanks for watching again. Hope you have a great rest of your day.